Hello again. It's Yaka from Action Your Account. How are you doing? I'm trying to hide some of the mess in the office, but and again, I want you to see me. So, how are you doing? How are you doing with your last three lives? Comments, likes, ask. Okay, I'm not doing this for popularity. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this for me because it's nice to achieve 100 days of lives, but I'm also mostly doing it for you because of what I've learned. I'd be too selfish if I didn't share it. So here I am sharing live number 4. Okay. And this is for you if you need to get a bit more intentional. Okay. Today we're going to talk about the end goal. Think about the end goal. Have this in your mind. What can you do today to achieve your goal? Okay. Imagine like a timeline. You're here, you want to get there. What do you need to do each day, each minute to get you there? Okay? For me, the end goal, the end goal is high. My end goal, what's my end goal? My end goal is I'm already living off, I already have enough going on to pay my bills, but my end goal is to take my children to Disneyland, to take them to see Santa. Holidays in a nutshell. More holidays, more going away. Um, that's my end goal. More quality of life, more going out and about, have more than, go for a date night more than once in a blue moon. Um, all of that. I want better quality of life. That's my end goal. And what I'm doing each day right now is to go live like this, to spread the word, to become more comfortable talking about it myself. I've got good days, I've got bad days. Okay, we all do. So today, am I in recording this? Yes. There's nothing worse than it happened before that I'm talking, and then I realized that I never hit record. So I am recording this. So day life, 4. So we got another 96 to go. I think the maths are going to get a little trickier as we go. I need to start calculating it in front of you. That's going to be embarrassing. Anyway, so give me in the comments as to what you've learned so far. That would be really helpful for you to reflect, but for me also to know that I'm doing a good job or not. If you've not learned anything, tell me. If you're learning something, tell me what's your biggest takeaway. So be intentional. There's nothing worse than being diverted or taking the different route because of a shiny object syndrome. It's real. If this is first time you hear about it, shiny object syndrome is something that you're trying to achieve something and then you see a course and that kind of pauses your thing and you go for a course. And then you've got something else going on during the course. You meet someone, somebody says something, and it takes you this way, or even further away from your thing. And then you realize, oh, I've been diverted by shiny object syndrome, and is to bring myself back to the ground. So you pause this and you start working on this to climb. So, your progress is then being being distracted by shiny object syndrome just means that whatever you're actually trying to achieve is going to take you longer. Whereas if you stay focused, so this, I've got this, and this is Law of Attraction Planner. This is the pink edition. You kind of need to write your own dates in there. It doesn't come, but the week starts on Monday, ends on Sunday. Whereas there are some planners that start on Sunday, and I don't do Sunday starts. It would just confuse me. And this one is perfect. So I write my dates in, I plan my year, plan my month, plan my day. But what I want to show you is in there. Okay, the light isn't great. You've got bits that you can keep the focus. There are some tasks there. You've got some on the top as well. Okay, so you can focus what your intention is. So each day, write at least one thing that you must achieve that day. Okay, or 3. Okay, start with one goal, and once start achieving that, and you start getting consistent with it, then you maybe add another one. But at least one thing that will take you to where you want to be, to your goal. But stay intentional. Wake up in the morning. What can I do today to stay intentional to take me to my goal? Okay, that goes the same for everything, whether it's drinking your 2 liters, whether that's doing your 10,000 steps, whether that's, doing your garden as perfect as it can get. Okay, be intentional. Everything that you can do today that will help your future self. And what I normally say, saying, do this, and then your future self will thank you. Okay, not thank me, will thank you because you've done the job, you've done the hard work to get you from here to there. Okay, so intentional. What is it that you'd like to achieve? Be very specific. I know you probably heard this before, but the reason for you to be very specific and to make it personal is because that's when you get the most out of it. That's when you get the more intentional. If you just go, I want to earn 1 million, okay? First, it's very vague. It's very, it's big, especially if you're not earning anything. It's too high to achieve in a reasonable time. Or if it is million, break it down into what you want to achieve each year to get you to that 1 million. Okay? Be very specific, break it down. So for example, my goal was or still is to earn £149,000 a year. To bring into the business. Okay? I then broke it down into that's a specific number because I worked it up from where I am. So I need certain amount of money for me to earn to pay my bills. I want my partner to drop his employment and help me in my business. So I need to replace his salary as well. I want the boys to do certain things. I want to go on holidays here, there, and everywhere, as we all do. So there's a lot of things. And when I did it all up, I then doubled it because that's what I need to bring into the business for me to earn that sort of cash. Okay. So because I need to pay taxes, I've got expenses, all of that. Okay, double it. If you want to work some more on what I've just covered, this is very in a nutshell, but give yourself a piece of paper, blank, obviously, and see where you want to be, and then break it down as to what needs to happen in order for you to get there. Start from the end. Start with the end in mind. Okay. If you've got credit cards, pay that off first. Any debt, pay that off first. But again, if it's say 5 grand, what is realistic for you to pay each month and stick with it? Okay? Book it in like a spa day. If you book a spa day, I can guarantee you're not gonna move it around. Okay? Or if you're a guy watching this, MOT, service. Okay? Service on your car. You're not gonna move it around. You're gonna stick to it. So that's what you need to do with money. Okay? Create a plan and stick with it. Be consistent. And just imagine where that you putting these little habits in place, where that's gonna take you, where you could potentially see yourself in 6 months' time, where you could potentially see yourself in 12 months' time. Okay, you could be paying yourself consistently. It could be different each month because you've got different income, different expenses possibly. But just imagine that you actually get paid. Yeah, because some of you don't get paid or you don't pay yourself. Make sure that you pay yourself. There will be your stress will reduce. Mine has. So, as long as you follow what I teach, your stress will go down and no second guessing. Okay. Because if I know a lot of people, say limited companies, a lot of directors come to me and they go, "Oh, how much can I pay myself?" And I was like, "Well, what's your profit?" "Well, I don't know." I was like, "Well, figure out what your profit is. Then we can figure out what your expenses are. Or better yet, let's figure out how much you want to pay yourself. What do we need to put away for tax? And then whatever is left is for expenses. And if that amount, whatever is left for expenses, is higher than what you currently pay, great. Put the difference into another pot, save it away. Okay, put it towards taxes or pay that credit card. If that amount, however, is lower than what you currently pay out, then something's wrong. Then you need to think about it. What needs changing? Okay, this is something that we get to in the webinar. So if you are interested in this at all, to know what needs changing, knowing, having somebody pointing, this is what needs to change. Okay, come to the webinar. We're gonna cover it there. We will definitely cover it there. So When you focus on the end goal, it's the daily actions that will start to make more sense. That's when you gain your clarity and your simplicity. Because suddenly you're not just waking up with a head full of to-do jobs. Suddenly you wake up with intention. What I sometimes do is I need to get in a bit more habit to do it monthly, quarterly, but weekly really works for me. So on Sundays or Fridays, today, for example, I'll be making a plan what I need to cover next week. So there are 2 weeks off on for Easter holiday. So that's the time I won't be able to do much work. So whatever needs to be covered during those 2 weeks, I need to make sure that I cover it before. Okay, so I've got some year-end accounts, I've got some tax returns, I've got some bookkeeping to do, I've got a big client meeting who I'm helping with Big Payday Method on one-to-one basis. And I think we're even doing the webinar on the 1st of April. 2nd of April. Okay, so I've got presentation to do before then. I am going to be talking to you about working with me on one-to-one basis. So I need to have all of this ready, landing pages, prices. Yeah. So I then need to put it into my 2 week plan, what I'm going to do when to make sure that I cover it all before the Easter holiday. Okay. So little things like that. You've got intention. You start from the back, from the end, and then it sort of takes you to where you want to be. So if you start showing up today for the version of you who you want to become, things just become that much easier. You know, sometimes they say you if you want to be earning 6 figures, you need to start talking to people who are already earning 6 figures and become that in your head. Your head doesn't see the difference between reality and imagination. So just imagine that you are already that person that's making 6 figures and everything else will just fall into part, will just fall into place even. um, it takes practice. It's a habit. Okay. It doesn't just happen from one day to another. And you need to truly believe it. And as woo-woo as this is, I'm not very woo-woo, or have not been very woo-woo, but I think with all of this kind of starting my own business, things have sort of become a little bit woo-woo. But in and it helped me. It really helped me in my business and me as a person to grow. So you're gonna hear some bits. But so if you're not interested in woo-woo whatsoever, then this might not be for you. But I'm not gonna say it too much. But just thought I kind of bring it in a little bit to, there is some ground to manifest in. There is work that needs to go with it. Obviously, you don't just wake up and start, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that. That's not gonna happen. You need to become that. Okay, there is quite a lot of inner work going on. So if you earn your 6 figures, you need to become a 6 figure business owner in your head. I'm not saying go on a shopping spree because you haven't got that money yet. You don't want to get yourself into, debt for that. But just mindset wise, just don't dwell on the little things. Give your attention to the big things, okay, that deserve your attention, your energy. Okay, so here is to thinking, being intentional, and having the end goal in mind. Next time, we're gonna talk about day 5, why you felt stuck. So we're gonna go a little bit deeper in that. So like I said, now we're talking about a bit of a mindset. So we've got another week of mindset before we start talking about the big payday method. The big payday method. When I'm going to bring in the breakdown of what the payday method is about and what the payday word abbreviation stands for. Talk to you soon. Let me know how you're getting on.